welcome to my channel. And this is an aviation channel, but this is a special video to reach out to you soccer moms at PTA meetings across the country. Because we as pilots and in the aviation community, we need your help now. For years, all your life, you have traveled on the airlines, and without even giving it a second thought, you have trusted your lives and the lives of your family to us pilots and us aircraft mechanics. And we have always diligently fulfilled our duty and taken care of you and your families. Now, we are at a critical time in aviation where our young pilots, our young men and women studying to become our future airline pilots and charter pilots, their careers and their livelihoods are being taken away from them by the Federal Aviation Administration and other laws and regulations being put into place to just destroy them. And I would like to reach out to you because I was a former Federal Bureau of Investigation employee. I was a special investigator. And in June of 2022, I was amazed because I watched the FBI basically take on anybody and win until they came across the PTA. And when they started threatening your little kids, your little cubs, I saw soccer moms all across the country storm into the school boards and demand justice and that their kids be treated fairly. I would like to ask for you to rise up again and protect your little cubs, the ones that happen to look up into the sky and say they want to be a pilot. Or they drive by an airport and they see the hangars open and us doing maintenance and say, "Hey, Mommy, I want to do that. I want to be an aircraft mechanic." Because you know what? Our children are not property of the state. Our children should grow up to be whatever they wish to become. And that's why I'm seeking your help. Because right now, our young pilots are being destroyed. The first way they're being destroyed is they're being financially abused at the flight schools. What happens is that when they get their training done, they go for a check ride which costs thousands of dollars for a mere 3-4 hours, sometimes even 6 minutes. They get charged $1,000 to take an exam given by a pilot examiner. This is unfair. I would like to change that and make it more fair. Another thing that's happening to them is that if they fail their check ride for a particular license, if they fail up to 3 times, now remember these are just kids starting out, less than about a year or two studying aviation. If they fail 3 times, then they're automatically just discriminated against and will never be an airline pilot or a charter pilot. At this stage of the game when they're just learning, this is awfully unfair and this is an abuse. And can you imagine being the parent, the mother or father of a young son or daughter that desires to be an airline pilot and then they fail their check ride 3 times? They've already spent $100,000 to $200,000 in student loans. And now just because of that, they're being denied a chance to move forward. Especially when the FAA dictates that the pass rate on these check rides, just on a whim. Some government employee thinks he's the boss of everything and just tells the examiner how many kids he can pass, how many he has to fail to keep his job. That's what's going on. If this was happening at colleges or at high schools, I know you PTA members would be right on it and just tearing them a new one. I ask that you start tearing away because your help is needed. These kids are being abused. Now another thing that's happening is that when these kids get out of their flight training, once again they have $100,000 to $200,000 in debt. Right now, there are 2 rules that are preventing these kids from getting a job. These rules aren't in place in other countries, and what's happening is because of these rules, Now these foreign students, these foreign pilots are coming into our country and taking our young pilots' jobs from them. What does your son or daughter do when they have $100,000 to $200,000 in debt and student loans? They have to work at least 2 dead-end jobs to nowhere just to make the payments. And remember, they can't bankrupt them. They can't run away from these loans. They'll follow them until they're into their 40s or 50s. So, no getting a new car. No getting a first apartment. That's out. Barely being able to afford food and then gas to get back and forth to work. This is a new form of slavery in the 20th century, and it's heartbreaking to see this happening to our young kids. Now, to fix these problems, I'm going to personally be going up to the aviation subcommittee and then also to individual congressmen and congresswomen who I actually think that they don't know what's going on. They are not pilots. They are not in the industry. And under the guise of safety and trying to do the right thing, they're actually being misled, misguided, and are actually hurting our young pilots. So what's at stake here? If we lose this silent war that's being waged against aviation in this country, think about the horrible loss of freedom to you and your family. Right now, you're seeing the effects of it. The airlines have cut service to many destinations, limiting your chances to go visit family, friends, your kids, go on vacations where you want to. The service at these different out-of-the-way places are just slowly being erased every year. Then, if we lose the battle to save our airlines and to save our charter operations, what will happen is if you only have the car to travel to go on vacation, boy, that really limits you to just a few places, and probably places that you've already been throughout the year just to take a little break. So gone are the trips to Hawaii, gone are the trips to Niagara Falls and to Florida, that type of thing. That is a serious encroachment on your freedom. Secondly, without our airlines, this is a tremendous loss. Imagine with the loss of our airlines, not going over to see your grandparents right away when they need you, when they fall down, when they're suffering the effects of old age and need your assistance. How do you get there quickly? And the answer is without the airlines, you just don't. So that will be taken away from you. How about visiting your kids when they grow up and move away and have their own families? When you want to see your grandchildren. And by car, it's 2-3 days, 4 days of driving. That's not doable. And that takes up all the time to visit with those kids. With the airlines, you're there in just half a day. And we need you. Our pilots are our silent heroes. Remember, every time you go out to the airport, those pilots are on staff. Those mechanics have made sure those planes are safe and ready for you to fly. And we take a great sacrifice out of our life to serve you. Just like being a surgeon at the hospital, we're always away from our families. When it's the holidays, we're our pilots. We're flying you to go on vacation. Where are we during Christmas and birthday parties and things like that and 4th of July? Well, we're at the airport flying you. So this is a tremendous sacrifice on our part. And to be honest with you, when you have a calling to be a pilot, there's nothing else that you'd rather do. So it is with great pleasure that I have been a pilot for my passengers for the last 30 years. And I pray that you take it upon yourself to get involved and to help the new pilots coming up the ranks that mostly they don't even know what's being done to them, to be honest with you. And they're purposely being blocked from a job, and our airlines are failing. And we need you, soccer moms. We need you to take care of your cubs and come to our rescue. And with that being said, I would like to offer that if any of you would like me to come out and speak to your PTA meeting or your church group or any group about what's going on in aviation, because it's in the news right now. Planes are literally falling out of the sky due to the poor maintenance, the poor selection of pilots that the FAA is forcing upon us. There's a whole list of problems that we need to face and we can solve. But you know what? Together, none of these problems are unsolvable. In fact, they're mostly created on purpose. And so with that being said, I would like to offer my invitation to come out and speak with you and to get you involved in aviation and protecting your airlines, protecting your airports. Because your pilots, your aircraft mechanics, and your airports, they are the very means of freedom to travel about not only the country, but the world. With that being said, I would like to just say God bless, keep flying speed, peace, and I look forward to hearing from you.